Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule, presented by FanDuel. Today is Monday, June 29th. Hard to believe we are almost to July. Do you know what I thought about the other day, guys? Was our position previews and when to start scheduling those recordings out, because we're already kind of in that territory of getting ready for the 2026 Mizzou football season. But we have two more recaps, deep dives left of the 2020s seasons under Eli Drinkwitz, which I guess is all of the 2020s, because of course he took over to start the decade. We have the 2024 and the 2025 seasons left. We are going to talk 2024 today. We're over the plateau of 2023. That was the one it felt like we'd really been building toward. But, and Kenny, you said it right before we started recording, this was a very funky season, and I think is still going to be kind of fun to look back at some games. Definitely, like, back to that, it felt like more of a roller coaster to me. Like, there was not a lot of muck like there was at the beginning of the decade, but it wasn't as many iconic moments maybe as 2023. And of course, you know, the finish wasn't quite as high as what 2023 ended up being. But Mizzou did win 10 games this season. They won the Music City Bowl, which we'll talk about, a game I was at, beat Iowa in that game. If you want some statistical leaders, I got them for you. Brady Cook, final year as Mizzou's quarterback, threw for 2,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. This was the Nate Noel, Marcus Carroll tandem, quote unquote, year. Nate Noel, 818 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Marcus Carroll had 12 touchdowns, 595 rushing yards. Theo Wees led the team in receiving yards. Luther Burden actually had one more catch than him. It was 61-60, but Wees had 884 yards. Luther 676. Corey Flagg Jr. was the team's leader in tackles. And of course, Johnny Walker had a really good year, 9.5 sacks. Dre Norwood and Toriana Pride had a couple interceptions. Blake Craig, this was a weird year for Blake Craig. I have a lot of Blake Craig in these games with moments for him. Missed kicks.
He was not good,
is
my
kicks.
opinion, but we'll get to that.
It was a weird year for him. Interesting year for Missouri. Let's get into it, because I have been dying to hear what you guys have as the top game of this season, because I feel like
we're going to go in reverse.
Oh, you want to go from worst to first?
Yeah.
I think it's
what we were doing beforehand. Yeah.
That's fine. We can go from worst to first. I'm still dying to hear what you have as the top game. But you know what? I'm curious to hear what you have as the bottom game, because looking at this schedule, of course, only 3 losses. They were to Texas A&M 41-10, Alabama 34-0, South Carolina 34-30. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume you guys are between 2 of these games. And just like I feel with the number 1, it's one of those things. Oh, I did the balloons again with the peace sign. I don't know why my thing does that. No, Peyton, yours doesn't. You won't be able
to do it.
Yeah, you can't do it. Shout out StreamYard. Great. No free ads. Great service platform.
Anyways, what are we doing?
Anyway, I figure it's going to come down to these 2 games, but like I feel like I do every time, it was one of those I was torn which to put last, and I feel like one or both of you 2 are going to be like, oh, there's an obvious bottom of the table.
There is a pretty obvious bottom.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See,
and it's not the game they got blown out, or not that they were shut out.
Okay,
in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I did not put Alabama last.
Okay.
That was a throwaway game. We could almost even talk about that game right now. I mean, Brady Cook was injured. But you could look at the stats right there. Drew Pine had 42 yards. I covered this game. Alabama people were kind of asking me like, "Oh, you think, Missouri could do something interesting here?" I was like, "No, they're not going to have their quarterback. Luther Burden's having a weird season. Like that was a dumb game. That was a castaway game. But I don't think it's last. Peyton, what's the worst game for you Is it A&M or Carolina?
Texas A&M far and away was the worst game in this season because once that game happened the way it did, after kind of an up and down 4 weeks, particularly from the offense, there was a lot made about Brady Cook not having his deep ball. I really felt confident Missouri was going to bounce back in this game. They had the bye week the week before. I thought they'd get things ironed out. Boy, this just shattered. I mean, this was almost the end of like the quote unquote honeymoon phase. I know the honeymoon phase is really, when you look more at it with Drinkwitz, it's 2020. But this to me, like 23 through those first 4 games, even though they had struggled, they had earned my trust. They really had. I remember I rarely am very positive on this show, I'll admit. But I picked Missouri to win this game. I really thought they were going to go. A&M was having a solid year, but I thought Missouri was going to go on the road and really like solidify, like, yes, this is a playoff team. We should not have been dropped 2 spots for falling, for beating a Vanderbilt team that wound up being pretty decent that year. And it was, I went to this game in person, and it was the worst experience I've probably had going to a game. This was actually not the fault of A&M fans, because I was surrounded by A&M fans with a good friend of the show, Jack Sobel, who Kenny's a big fan of right now. And it was actually, A&M fans were pretty cool around us, I will admit. It would probably help that Missouri was out of this game so fast. I mean, it was an 11 a.m. kick. Missouri had they didn't get a call to go their way on 4th down, and the game was over after that. They crumpled. The defense was pathetic. I mean, it was horrible all day. But really in that first half, there was just no resistance. I think it was Le'Veon Moss was their back. He just ran all over Missouri. And of course, there were really infamous things. I thought Drinkwitz had really done a great job as of late, not putting his foot in his mouth, but the whole Marcel Reed is going to start. They have Connor Wegman listed for semantics, and Connor Wegman just picked this defense apart. It was a needless sideshow that Drinkwitz did not need to put his team in a hole to do. And then there was the Brady Cook. It was honestly louder at practice saga. I will admit, like, A&M didn't get probably as juiced up for this game, like the crowd as juiced up for this game as they could have, because, again, it was out of hand so quickly. But they did flash that quote in the 3rd quarter, I think it was, and that place got pretty amped up. So, I mean, this was kind of like a reality-shattering game. I kind of realized after that game it was going to be really probably not in the cards for Missouri to make the playoffs. They just weren't a playoff caliber team. It just kind of halted all that momentum at that time. They did well to bounce back and win 10 games this season, but this was kind of the moment you really felt like, wow, like that was, we are not in the pantheon right now of playoff competitors.
One day we'll get the true story. Actually, we probably will never get the true story on the Will Lee situation with the blanket that was put in Theo Weiss's room at the hotel, and we'll never know who actually put it in there. You know, a lot of belief that it was on the Missouri side. It was just something to fuel him. And you can even look at Theo Weiss's numbers in this game. He only had 2 receptions, but he did total 72 yards. But overall, just, not the offensive game that Mizzou wanted. And from a recruiting side as well, I don't know if you guys remember this, Lamont Rogers visited this game for Texas A&M, and he was committed to Mizzou at the time, and he was visiting Texas A&M. A couple months later, he backs off that Mizzou pledge and then commits to A&M and signs with the Aggies.
I'm in agreement ultimately. I think there's some heartbreak to talk about in the next game below, but yeah, this was, I remember where I was weirdly for a lot of these games. And ironically, it was not locked into the game, because I was on the way actually to Nashville to cover Alabama's eventual loss to Vanderbilt, which I ended up being really grateful for, because it meant a lot less people were talking about a top 10 Missouri team losing in the way they did to A&M. This was one of the early like weird Luther Burden signs too, where, he did not react well to the missed call, and then, sort of shut down. There was some stuff on the sidelines a couple of times this season with him, and that was a big story in this game too. But yeah, it just kind of showed, like Payton said, that they didn't quite have maybe maybe they got there eventually, but in a game where it really mattered, did not have the stomach to kind of weather even just one bad thing that didn't go their way, and then it just eroded, and it was really ugly. And you're right, quite calamitous for the playoff hopes pretty early on. So we can move swiftly on if we want to keep talking about some misery from this season, because I think you have to go right to the South Carolina game next as the one below. I think I would still put this below Alabama.
I'll hear Kenny's argument, but I would agree.
I was a little bit more just falling in line with Alabama here. I don't know. It's just the South Carolina one in my mind, and I could say the same for you. For you guys, if Mizzou wins that game, it's probably number one. It probably could be like 1, 2, 3 in that top echelon. And then we'd probably be talking about a better bowl game too. We might not even be talking about Iowa. But yeah, I'm fine putting South Carolina at second to last.
Here's why I go South Carolina was worse than Alabama. Because South Carolina, like if you thought Missouri was going to beat Alabama, that's on you. All right. They had no chance in that game. Brady Cook was very obviously not close to healthy. And it was just Alabama at that point in time. The moment Brady Cook got knocked out of the game was over. Drew Pine came in and had one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a quarterback. And I'm not saying that to be mean to Drew Pine. He'll have his moment in the sun probably to end the list. We'll get to that though. But I mean, this game for Missouri to be down 21-6 at half, a disaster of a first half, to have that fight back in them against this team, mind you, because I'll tell you what, Beamer was trying to really embarrass Missouri in this game. I mentioned in the 23 episode, I really think he took how Missouri just, instead of airing it out, they just pounded the rock all day against South Carolina. I think he took that personally because he was trying his ass off to do the same exact thing in this half. I don't remember in this game. I don't remember exactly what half and what part of the game it was, but there was an instance, there was a drive they had where they were well in control of this game, and Beamer, like an asshole, just recklessly kept going for fourth downs on this drive and kept trying to run the ball. And finally, Missouri stopped them. I'm pretty sure Missouri went down and scored, and the game was like right back. Like Shane Beamer did everything he could to lose this game. He coached a horrible game, but unfortunately, Lenore Sellers turned into basically the closest thing to Tim Tebow, Cam Newton that I've ever seen. There were so many missed opportunities for Missouri to close this game out. The Johnny Walker third down sack that he missed. Oh my God, that was such an unfitting moment for such a great player at Missouri. How can you not? That 4th and 7 to Luther for the touchdown. Like Missouri, if they win this game, I'm not going to say they go on to go 10-2 and make the playoff. I still am not sure they were going to be good enough to make the playoff at that point. But they would have been real damn close. And like Kenny said, you're probably a Citrus Bowl team.
I think that game goes that play goes in the pantheon of all time under Drinkwitz if they win this.
But lo and behold, I mean, Nick Deloach just gets beaten up and down the field. There's a reason he didn't hardly play at all in 25 when he had to play a lot in 24. It was just a really tough what-if game because I don't think South Carolina's coaching staff deserved it. I thought they were horribly coached in this game. But Lenore Sellers he's back in 26 too, so maybe it changes, but in 25 it didn't work out. He was so damn good in this game. Just an absolute superhero. And I have to just tip my cap at the end of the day to him, because he was Superman when they needed him to be Superman. And it wound up being as painful a loss as I've probably ever seen for Missouri.
Kenny, before you go, I'm not gonna lie. I was closer to putting this below A&M than I was to putting Alabama below it.
I'd almost have to agree.
This was crushing. The other part of this was like, not only was Lenore Sellers awesome, but Missouri just forgot how to tackle. The last Rocket Sanders touchdown, where they throw a shovel pass to him and he runs through about 4 guys to get in the end zone, was just, it was just like, I couldn't believe what I was watching in that moment. It was like, just get him on the ground, make him have to run another play, and they just couldn't do it. This was a hard one to digest for a while.
I agree. I think just from the reason I was even like close to putting Alabama behind it, from an entertainment perspective, the second half alone, I mean, this was an exciting game to watch. You get a night game in South Carolina too. I think it's a really good atmosphere. I've seen that in person, and I think that's what I was factoring in a lot with some of these games, is that there was a good entertainment perspective, and I thought this one could move up a little bit with the fourth quarter as well, just with how fun that one was to watch. Do you guys remember if Larry Roundtree was at this game, or was it the away game, the 2 games before that in the series? Do you remember that they kept showing him on the sideline?
I do not remember this.
I don't remember that.
I think it might have been two years before.
It's fair. I think if Missouri had Brady Cook healthy and was a 1-loss team going into that Alabama game, and then just got steamrolled after, a week of maybe talking yourself into winning it, like you did with Texas A&M, it might fall below it. But I don't know. I never expected Missouri to even really show up, and they didn't. And this game, I thought they really had a chance, despite what Lenore Sellers did offensively. So I'd go those 3.
Kind of an emblematic game. I mean, it was like a great game, but it wasn't perfect for Mizzou. Kind of like this season. Really, I think it's a really good season. You can't at Missouri be sneezing at 10-win seasons, but it's just missed opportunities galore across this game, across this season.
I'll rip off the next 4 I had in order here, and you guys can tell me if there's one you'd put below it, or if one you'd put distinctly above. I went the 38-0 win over Buffalo, the 51-0 win over Murray State, 45-3 Mizzou over UMass, and 39-30 over Mississippi State.
It was 39-20.
Sorry, 39-20. I wrote it down wrong.
That means Alabama's ahead of these.
No, I put Alabama.
No.
I know.
Alabama was. I think the thing I remember best about the Alabama game is when I think it was Justice Haynes, who is at Georgia Tech now, ran over. Oh, I'm gonna forget who it was. It was either Deloach or one of the corners, and it was like bad. Like,
really? Because I remember Drew Pine's 3 interceptions like perfectly, and they were the worst interceptions I've ever seen.
Those were pretty bad. I remember that in the goal line stand they had, that Alabama had, where they put the starters back in to keep them at 0.
Yeah, this game, there's really nothing to say about this game. I think if you were a Missouri fan expecting them to win this game, knowing what we knew at the time, I really think you were setting yourself up to be angry.
Yeah.
Like, there was just no way. Does it suck that it was 34-0, that they couldn't score at all? Yes, absolutely. They should not be losing by 34. But again, Missouri would not have won that game ever. In 2025 is the Alabama game that I think we can debate more.
Any takes from Buffalo, Murray State, UMass, or the Mississippi State game, which I wrote down.
Vanderbilt should be lower.
You think so?
Most of those, I think. Vanderbilt was not good. That was a bad game.
30-27 in overtime.
Double overtime,
technically.
Just the offense puttering around all day. They somehow put up 30, but that was a bad game. That was really a rough watch. I don't even really remember a lot about it, but that would be lower than I probably would keep it above Buffalo and Murray State and UMass because those are nothing games that are not even, I don't even really think worth talking about. But I think Vanderbilt is the worst SEC win.
Kenny, you got anything on? Let's just rip off Buffalo, Murray State, and UMass. Do you remember anything about those games other than that UMass was at UMass, which was just the silliest thing ever?
Yeah.
Back-to-back shutouts to start the year.
There was some crazy stat about that too.
They were like the only team in like 150 years or something that had ever done that.
That Buffalo team won 9 games.
Toriano Pride had a pick 6 against Murray State.
He did.
We thought, okay, they finally found, that big time transfer corner. Was it Buffalo or Murray State that they tried to do the onside kick? Was it Murray State?
Murray State tried to do it to kick off the season because it was a brand new coach. They came in off like a 0-12, 1-11 year.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Murray State went 1-11 again.
UMass game. 2 things I do remember. Josh Manning had a really long touchdown that he ran in. And then Massachusetts foliage. That was like the word of the game. Everyone just kept saying foliage.
Foliage.
Why?
Don't they have it?
Yeah, it's like that's what they're known for. It was the fall. I mean, it was
they're
just
known
like all
for
those
something.
leaves. Yeah, they're known for foliage. Like it was like every ride or every tweet, like from people that were covering the game, kept saying foliage.
I remember this too.
Who was it? Nate Noel got hurt on the plane?
Yes, Nate Noel got hurt on the plane ride. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was super weird. Yeah, not much to say about those 3. All right, so we'll go Buffalo, Murray State, UMass because UMass was at UMass, and I think that's funny. You wanted to go Vanderbilt next. That's fair. I did write some notes when I rewatched the highlights of this game. There was the Diego Pavia touchdown where just time after time, this secondary was just horrible at dealing with like unorthodox extended plays where like the first read breaks down and the quarterback's just allowed to like run around for a little bit. And then every time it seemed like every member of the secondary would just go at him and someone would just be wide open. There was one of those in this game. Do you guys remember Marvin Burks screwing up the kickoff and almost getting a safety? They did that weird sky kick.
A lot of things this season, that's for sure.
Yeah. They did the weird sky kick because Missouri was lined up thinking they might onside it, and then Marvin Burks mishandled it and almost went out. Blake Craig doinked a 23-yard field goal in this game that would have obviously given him the win in regulation if he had made it. Vanderbilt took a 13-10 lead at halftime because Brady Cook, Mizzou went for it on 4th and 3, and Brady Cook was sacked at the 50 with like 8 seconds left.
Yep.
Craig also missed a 40 and a 46-yard field goal in this game. And then another similar to South Carolina game, they go to overtime. You think they're just going to be dead in the water. And then Cook throws that absolute dime to Burden to answer the touchdown in one play. Eddie Kelly had a big sack in OT, and then Vanderbilt misses the game winner after Craig redeems himself and makes a 37-yarder to win.
Yeah, I think there's an argument that Brock Taylor might have had a worse day just in the end with how this game ended. I mean, he couldn't make a kick to save his life either.
No.
I mean, they weren't even like bad kicks. And he made one from 57 in this game too.
The halftime kick.
Short ones. Yeah.
I mean, Missouri attempting 6 field goals against this Vanderbilt team is so bad. That's so bad. I mean, it was just kind of the culmination of like, this offense is messy right now. And then, like you mentioned, like Luther Burden gets the touchdown from Cook in the was that first or second? That was first
overtime.
Right. And you get that, plus they get out of there with the win, go to the bye week. I really did think they'd figure it out. But yeah, I mean, there were some real cracks. There were cracks showing in the first 3 weeks, and this game really, really kind of opened your eyes a bit. Like, whoa, this is not as good as I thought it'd be. But yeah, to me, this is the worst. This is the worst of the SEC wins. Is he muted? He's
I
muted.
think he's muted. Yeah, I was wondering if he was.
I am muted.
lagging or what.
I never do that. That's normally a Kenny thing.
There's going to be just 2 awkward seconds of Kenny and I shaking our heads.
I had this game higher initially, but I think it's fair to move it down in a vacuum. I had it higher because
what did you think made it better than Mississippi State?
The rest of the season, because Vanderbilt ended up being pretty damn good, and Missouri, the whole thing of like they went on to beat Alabama, and everyone gave Missouri shit for the whole year that they almost lost to Vanderbilt, but people didn't ding Alabama that much for actually losing to Vanderbilt. And the context of how the rest of the season went for them actually like made this feel a little better, but it was a tear your hair out type of game in the moment for sure. And I think it can be rightfully dinged. Mississippi State, I'm not going to lie, I didn't get a chance to watch the highlights. I remember nothing.
There are no highlights. This game is, if you want to go watch highlights for this game, you cannot do it. They are not out there. I've tried. Because I wanted to remember the offense like actually looking good.
The only thing I remember from this game is Eli Drinkwitz telling them to back off or they're going to score again. That is literally the one thing I remember.
You can't just do it like that. You have to say it how he said it.
I don't remember exactly what is
Mississippi State. Shut the F up, or I'm going to score.
Yeah,
there you go.
So I was not trying to censor. I genuinely couldn't remember.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the most 2023 the offense looked. Granted, it was because I think Mississippi State's defense was that bad this year. But still, I mean, it was a fun game in the moment to watch. It was not memorable at all, and by then Missouri was just playing for bowl placement. But yeah, gosh, it's so funny seeing Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll just
trading,
alternating when neither of them probably were winding up as the best back on the team. Again, I'm not blaming Missouri for not knowing that at the time, but that's something that has to probably be addressed, was that Kewan Lacey was on this team.
This was also the last good Luther Burden game. Seven receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. He never really did anything after that, and then went off to the draft.
Well, that's because they had one game that he played in after that.
Yeah, could have done well against Arkansas. Could have played bowl game.
Speaking of which, no, I'm kidding. What's next? Boston College probably has to be next, right?
Are we in agreement? Should we do Vanderbilt and then Mississippi State? Is that fine with you, Kenny?
I would do that.
I do in that case have Boston College next on my list. 27-21. This was a ranked win for Missouri. Boston College was 24th. You can ignore the fact that Missouri was 6. Here are my notes. Again, maybe the dumbest 67-yard touchdown you've ever seen, where Castellanos fumbles the snap, and again, everyone just tries to go after him too wide. The commentators literally say it best. There are 2 guys just streaking down the field, and one of them was like, you could have just picked one of them and thrown him the ball, and I would have scored that touchdown. You would have scored that touchdown. My grandma would have scored that touchdown. Like, it was just ridiculous, and it happened time and time again to this secondary, which funnily enough, I kept watching highlights and was thinking about how awful it was. Missouri was second in the SEC in passing yards allowed per game, which I just find baffling because there are just some nightmarish plays that they make / don't make defensively. But there was that vintage Luther touchdown to make it 14-12. He catches it, spins around the guy, and runs in on the sideline. I enjoyed that. And then, of course, the funniest sequence of the season, which was the 2nd and 59. And if you don't remember it, allow me to regale you. Brady Cook threw a 22-yard throw to Mookie Cooper. Luther Burden grabbed a Boston College guy's mouth guard and threw it for an unsportsmanlike conduct 15-yard penalty. Then they gained 25 yards back from Josh Manning, throw from Brady Cook to Josh Manning. Cameron Johnson was ineligible, ran too far down the field, so they back it up. It's 2nd and 30. They run a screen. Luther gets back to the line of scrimmage. They call Mookie Cooper for a blindside block and Luther Burden for a personal foul to make it 2nd and 59. And then they run a Noel run for 24 yards and then have to punt. So silly.
I do remember, I remember very infamously, it was like the one time I remember seeing Drink really pissed at Luther. Like, he got in Luther's face and told him to knock it the hell off. And Luther, to his credit, kind of realized, like, yeah, I kind of just ended this drive on my own. So he took it. But it was, gosh, this game was the most uneven 27-21 I've ever seen. I mean, Missouri should have won this game by so much more, but stuff like that, the stupid, like Toriano Pride and Marvin Burks thought they were linebackers half the time when they saw play action. They just thought they had to go up and run support. But whatever. I mean, they got away with a ranked win, like you mentioned. They fell a spot because of they got a ranked win in not a very convincing fashion. But I mean, yeah, you look at the box score, you just don't understand how Missouri didn't win this, like 12 at least. I mean, it was so uneven, it felt like, but just dumb mistakes and penalties. That's kind of what kept Boston College alive.
I can't find the still from this game where it says like, isn't this the game where it's the third and like
second
80?
and 59? He just
second 59. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. But when you do search it, like search what I'm searching for, the top thing that comes up is a screenshot from the 2021 game, and it says Mizzou 31, Boston College 27, 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
That's brutal. This was also redemption for that, where I forgot about the Drinkwitz quotes, at the time where he said, "I've never recruited a guy from Massachusetts. I'd rather play a regional rivalry game." Boston College goes and beats them.
Yeah, gosh, people blew that up. That was I get on Drinkwitz a lot for putting his foot in his mouth, but that was such a nothing burger that got blown up.
Can't make that Boston College fan base angry. Apparently.
Yeah, no kidding. They rushed the field. There's the second and 59.
Yeah, there's the second and 59. So that was wild. You know what? I will go to bat for Blake Craig in this game. He went 4 for 4. He made a 56-yard field goal. He had a good game, and they needed every single one of them. So,
yep.
Shout out healthy Blake Craig.
God, I forgot penalties were such a bad issue with this team early on.
They were
really bad.
We had a counter. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Count them.
Yep.
It was bad.
I think we had a spreadsheet of like every one that existed. Like
that was the tiebreaker. Do you guys remember that? If we tie, because sometimes we choose the same score, the same difference. Right. And our tiebreaker, if you won the score that week, was how many penalties there were.
Yep. I do remember this. That's a good shout. Well, we should bring that back. Hopefully it's not a very high.
I hope we don't have to.
Yeah, this game was wacky. Castellanos for Boston College, went on to bigger and better things the next season after just making some wacky throws.
Beat Alabama.
That was also was that the next year? That
was the next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he got benched this season by the end of the year.
And now their quarterback is Ashton Daniels.
Good luck, Bob.
Shout out to Florida State.
What champions, Kenny? Doesn't matter who.
AFC South champs, Brian.
There you go.
27-21. I'm good with this game to be slotted where it is. All right.
Wait, do you guys remember when we thought I don't think we thought, but I posted that we reported that Bill O'Brien was going to Auburn? Do you guys remember that?
No.
Someone changed his Wikipedia, and I found it that someone had changed it, and I posted it saying like, "Oh, he's going to Auburn."
I remember that happening with Jim McElwain's Wikipedia getting edited to be the Missouri coach after they fired Barry Odom.
That's a good one.
No, it wasn't. It
what
was
could
not
have been
funny.
No, fair enough.
That was not funny. That was scary.
Didn't end up being scary, Payton. It's all okay. All right, we have 5 games left?
We have
4 games left. Excuse me. I'm gonna assume this next slot would be between Iowa and Arkansas.
No, this has to be Arkansas.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Mizzou 28, Arkansas 21. The notes I wrote down. I watched the highlights of this game. It was Taylor Green. No more KJ Jefferson. So we've graduated from KJ Jefferson to Taylor Green. It was a snow game. The commentators actually were literally talking about how it was a snow game right before Arkansas fumbled the ball in the third quarter, which was pretty fun. Good timing. That's not the best, most well-timed preview of a fumble of this season, which we'll get to. No Taylor Green. Eddie Kelly Jr. had another big sack. I'm gonna shout him out. when you hear some names, there's some good ones in the bowl game too that I'm sure Kenny I'll let share. Payton, Mitchell Walters came in as the extra lineman on the Carroll touchdown to make it 17-10. I thought you'd appreciate remembering that.
Boy, I do not remember Missouri needing 18 points in the fourth quarter.
This game was 7-7 at halftime. Very strange. Also, a couple of times when I was watching the highlights of these games, I just love what this team would do sometimes in the 2-point conversion plays with, running the Wildcat, all of this stuff. And then, of course, Arkansas had chances at the end of this game. I mean, they dotted it up, down the sideline a couple of times and had
Joseph Charleston saved the game.
Yeah,
I remember on one of those throws.
And they had chances to throw it into the end zone with like 10 seconds left, but Missouri escaped with a win. Is this other than the loss, this the least memorable Arkansas game so far?
I think it's hard because of the snow. That's going to something that always sticks with me. It was the end of the year. It snowed.
That's fair.
Snowed a lot.
I don't know, though, because the other ones, 2020 was the amazing last-second field goal. 21 was the loss where Nate Pete broke the record. 22 was like the most complete offensive effort of the year. Brady Cook had an incredible game. 23, they were up 41-0 at one point.
And so the fight.
There was a fight in this one, too.
Oh, there wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. They're all at least a little memorable in some ways. And like Kenny said, snow game is still cool. Just a couple things for me on this game. Very fitting. Brady Cook got the final touchdown on the QB draw. That was a nice way to cap his career. Of course, he played in the bowl game, but his home career. Like I mentioned, Joseph Charleston straight up saved Missouri's ass on that final drive because, boy, that was a Taylon Green through, and he had to make a play on the ball. The 2-point conversion that you mentioned was like the awesome little reverse that ended with a throw to Luther. I'm 99% sure that Kirby Moore was saving that to try and get Luther one last touchdown at Missouri, but kind of just had to use it there. Luther only 1 for 11 in his last game at Missouri is very sad. That sucks. He deserved better than that, but I mean, kind of just a complete game. You didn't want to see Missouri lose to Arkansas in a year like this, so it was a good way to close it.
I think I agree. It's just kind of a good bookend to the regular season. I don't have much more from it. Yeah. Kenny, anything from you, or should we discuss the bowl game? I think that has to go next.
There were a lot of official visitors for this game. Payton, do you remember? I was talking about this with someone recently. One of them I called. I think his name is Javion Butts. He went to North Carolina. I called him after this, and he answered the phone on the plane and was talking to me. And I was like, "We can do this later." Like, I just can't believe he could even pick up the phone on the plane. I think that's what shocked me. But Javion Hilson was at this game. This was his first time visiting Mizzou.
Oh, that lovely. The off season after this season was real lovely. That's the best way to put it. The only way to put it, really. Just an enjoyable time had by everyone.
We should rank the off seasons next. No, let's not do that. Week by week.
The one where they got Bensie Polgar and Tyler Stevens is number one for me.
I specifically remember having a conversation with Callum McAndrew about Bensie Polgar once. I don't know why. Shout out Callum McAndrew, does great work. Kenny, I had a guy call me on the plane one time, and he answered the phone. It was just hissing, and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm
hissing,
sorry,
Kenny. Hissing.
I'm on the plane."
I see your face. He said hissing, like a.
No, I know. It's just funny to hear.
It was just like, how the plane noises, like it was just making the plane noises. What?
I just got what Peyton was saying.
Oh, I clocked. Come on, man. Wake up. It's early in the morning on this Sunday.
It's almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it was just making that, the plane noises. And I was like, what? And he was like, can I just call you back when I'm on the ground? And I was like, yeah, I don't even know how you were even able to answer the phone. That man was Washington Wizards small forward Will Riley. So Shout out Will Riley. I'm glad
Sorry.
he's glad he had a good year. Yeah, you don't know who that is.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Payton knows who it is. Played against Mizzou on the basketball court.
Drew Smith deserved the Player of the Year award over Herb Jones. That's my one take on Mizzou and Alabama basketball for the day.
He didn't play for Alabama. He played for Illinois.
Yeah, I know. But you were at Alabama.
Yes, he was being recruited by Alabama. They did not get him. Anyway, plays for the Wizards now. Good rookie. All right, Iowa. That I think has to go next. The bowl game. It was the Music City Bowl. Once how do I best put this? How would you guys best put this? The Music Bowl, City Bowl we were promised back in 2020 finally was delivered in I guess technically still 2024, right? I think it was New Year's Eve day, right? I think it was the 31st. Yeah. So it was not yet 2025. Missouri 27, Iowa 24.
Eve day is such a funny way to put that.
You never heard people say that?
It's not. It's New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve day.
Oh, New Year's Eve day.
Yes, New Year's Eve day. Missouri 27, Iowa 24. I went to this game. Honestly, like watching it back, just a solid game. No Luther, no Norfleet, no Membu for Mizzou. I'm sure there were others. Those were the three big ones on offense that I remember. And they end up winning. Made a little bit of a comeback in the fourth quarter. Another big Blake Craig game.
Did you say Tollison?
No Tollison. You're right.
Tollison tore his ACL.
Another big Blake Craig game. I'm shouting him out again off the bat. He made 51, 56-yard field goals in this game.
Tollison been missing a lot of time by this point. Like he'd been out a few games.
4 weeks.
Because I remember Heismeyer came in and actually played pretty damn well.
Yeah, he got up on the podium, like at the lectern. He was actually talking because people were like, "Man, you're having a good end to your career here."
Yeah, and I remember when he played in the Gasparilla Bowl, I really did not ever want to see him play again. But he played it. Credit to him, had an awesome set of games. Like I wanted him to return in 25 because I'm pretty sure he had the option, but can't fault a guy if he wants to just move on.
But Connor Tollison's last game was South Carolina, wasn't it? Didn't he get hurt in that one?
I can't remember exactly. It was around there. He wasn't the only one though. Chuck Hicks didn't play in this game. Remember? That was the whole thing.
We talked a lot about him.
We talked about that last episode. How that was maybe not as voluntary as it would seem, but I do remember this was a fun bowl game because, like Knowlton said, it was just a straight up good ball game. Iowa threw some haymakers. Missouri was able to throw them right back. Brady Cook was able to go out on the win. I remember the game-winning drive they had. He had to throw balls to Logan Muckey and to Voris Jones. No clue what that was about, why that happened.
You blew my Kenny setup. I wanted Kenny to mention the Voris Jones completion.
Well, that's just always stuck with me. We got a good look at all the youth at receiver, especially. I mean, Theo Weiss was going to win MVP in this game before he got hurt at halftime, if you guys remember. I mean, that was all 575-1 was all in the first half.
Didn't he break his wrist?
What happened?
He broke his wrist, didn't he?
Something with his upper body. I don't remember exactly what, but I mean, Marquise Johnson had an awesome game. You maybe were dreaming a little bit there. Daniel Blood made some plays. There you go, Kenny.
I'm you, by the way.
Josh Manning had a rushing touchdown. So it was a fun game. You got to look at youth at receiver. A lot of youth at linebacker in this game. That was really cool. Tristan Newsome did play a lot as well. You can see he was the leading tackler. But, fun game. You got your 10th win. You got a trophy. Kenny's highlighting Jordan Harris having a catch in the bowl game. There you go, Kenny.
This was I felt very vindicated about all my Marquise Johnson hype after watching the highlights of this. He was awesome. Especially after Theo Weiss got hurt. They kept throwing to him. He made some big time catches, had a touchdown. I was what could have been. He's going to be a starter for Mississippi State next year. I'm still going to root for Marquise Johnson, but I was dreaming big. I was dreaming big his whole Missouri tenure, but especially after this game, I felt very validated for the hype that he was getting, because he was electric. Yeah, it was a fun game. They gave up a Caden Weegan touchdown like everybody else that season. He had a 100-yard kickoff return, which I kind of totally forgot about. I also was getting very angry at the safety for Iowa, Xavier Wampa, who I think plays for the Chiefs now. I know he's in the NFL. He had a dirty hit on Brady Cook that I remember I was like getting really angry about. But yeah, that was my only other connection to this game. Besides now, I live in Iowa now. I'm surrounded by a lot of Hawkeye fans, some of whom I have had conversations with about Missouri ducking the 2020 Music City Bowl, which I just think is so silly. But they got to do what they got to do. Yeah, it was interesting. There was their quarterback, by the way, was Tulane's backup last year. I totally forgot about him. Brendan Sullivan for Iowa. Yeah. He had the crazy play before halftime where he did there's like that one Russell Wilson touchdown.
That didn't count at all. He did it for no reason.
Well, it didn't. I mean, he didn't score a touchdown, but they scored a touchdown after, like off of it.
But his play didn't matter. They cheated. That's why it happened.
How did they cheat?
They cheated. They got a penalty. I don't remember what the penalty was, but
I didn't think they got a penalty.
They got a penalty. I guarantee you can find it. Kenny, go to the play-by-play and find it. It's right before.
I'm not going to go through the play-by-play and find it. You said it's at the end
go
of the
through the play-by-play and find it.
Good job, Kenny. Hold your own. Oh, he's doing it. No, Kenny. No, it's that last touchdown.
The touchdown.
It's the touchdown. No, down more. 9-yard run. There's no penalty.
I could have swore they had a penalty. Dang it! Well, he didn't score. Doesn't matter.
He didn't score, but he did have
greatest run that didn't really matter.
No, that honor belongs to Caden Proctor.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Jalen Marshall's a hero. They should build him a statue.
I have a couple things from this game. On the box score, it says Philip Roche had a tackle. That's not right. I don't think he was with the team anymore at this point.
I don't know if that's right either.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, he wasn't with the team at this point. I think he was gone.
Maybe that came in the spring of 25?
No, Mississippi State had, I think that was his last game because he left the program. You don't remember that?
You could be right. I really don't remember.
Who else? I think this was probably like a tackle.
Did that say Jamal Roberts had a tackle too?
Well, yeah, I mean, it might be on special teams. Like, I think Josh Manning had a tackle on special teams.
I didn't know we ever had Jamal Roberts on special.
Oh, yeah.
He used to be a returner. He used to be a kick returner.
Well, and this was blocker Jamal Roberts, too.
Who else would have been 20?
I don't know, but
this might be Nicholas Rodriguez.
Maybe they misattributed it to Rodriguez, yeah.
Jamarian
I
Wayne.
think there's some shoddy scorekeeping going on here.
Yeah. Best play of this game? Probably the Corey Flagstop.
Yeah, the defense really manned up to set up the game-winning field goal and then get that stop on third down and then fourth down when Iowa desperately needed a timeout and didn't have one it could call and ran that really stupid play and lost 2 yards and lost the game.
For also what it's worth, also I think there were 5 or 6 Big Ten versus SEC bowl games this year, and I believe Missouri was the only one that won for the SEC.
Drinkwitz is 2-3 in bowl games and 2-0 against the Big Ten.
Yep.
I think the best way to describe this ending to the season, you win the Cotton Bowl the year before, you still get to 10 wins this year. I just think of the thumbs up emoji. I just think, that was a good job. I think that was the best way to describe this year. You weren't going to be able to, replicate what you did last year. You lost a lot of your offensive output. I think they did exactly what they needed to do, and they gave a glimpse of the future. I remember after this game, too, Marquise Johnson went to Twitter and said, "I'm not leaving." And I remember even thinking, I was like, why would you? You're coming into a wide receiver room where you could be the number one guy, and we saw a lot of his character in this game as well. I don't remember if you guys remember. He was pretty animated throughout the entire game, and that was, a big – I think that was huge for him to kind of make his name with Luther not being there and then Theo Weiss going down. He got to be the number one. And even though it didn't work out the next year – I thought that was, a good glimpse of what the future could have been.
He got hurt too. He also got injured and came back and made a couple more catches.
I knew he attempted a pass. There was a trick play, but I don't remember.
I don't
what
remember
it
what happened.
was.
They didn't show it in the highlights, so it must have
Okay.
been nothing. I think he just had an incompletion. Yeah, it's a good point. I think if someone would have asked me like, hey, Missouri's going to win 10 wins in the Music City Bowl, I would have said, great, thanks. As my response to that. All right, this is the moment of truth. I think we can just talk about number one first because I'm kind of dying to know if I'm, again, I seem to get this wrong every time where I
There
think
is this one I will not level with. There is one correct answer.
See, I knew this would happen because I was very back and forth between both of these games. And I literally said to myself, I was like, Payton or Kenny is going to be like, oh, there's an obvious number one answer for some reasons that I'm not forgetting. That said, Payton, I think you and I have the same top game.
Do you have Oklahoma number one?
I have Oklahoma number one.
Okay, good. Because there's just no way that there's another argument for that. Kenny, please tell me you also have this number one. Because there is not a debate.
I was playing Xbox this morning with the aforementioned Jack Sobel. And I said, I want to go Auburn just because Payton doesn't believe that Brady Cook actually went to the hospital. And I think that is just the funniest thing that you would not accept that he actually went to the hospital.
No, the footage is pretty conclusive. He did.
I'm fine going Oklahoma number one.
You're fine? There is, guys, come on. There is not.
I was there. I mean, I was there. I was at Auburn too. I forget. I was at 3 games this year.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, man. The argument you make for Auburn is just for Brady Cook. Which is why I don't think
that is again.
That's just never happened before. That is like insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's romance about Auburn first.
I get that. I really do. That was such a great moment. I was at that game. I was on the hill. I watched the Mookie Cooper. I think that was the end of Mookie Cooper's career, by the way. I watched Mookie Cooper have like a 74-yard reception, and the offense. People did not realize it took people watching 2 quarters of Drew Pine to give Brady Cook a standing ovation when he came back in after being really frustrated with him. I totally understand that. I really do. Oklahoma is like another stratosphere of it's a relevant rivalry. Okay, that was a rivalry being resurrected between 2 fan bases that talked a whole lot of trash. The Caden Green saga and everything. That was a huge deal. You have Drew Pine at QB making big boy throws left and right. Jamal Roberts had a great game until the fumble towards the end, which, by the way, was maybe the craziest ending I've ever seen to a football game.
Right.
Ever. That game is clear-cut number one. There's not a debate.
You're preaching to the choir, I think, ultimately. I settled with it as number one. I think it's worth it to romanticize about this game for just for Brady Cook himself. Like Kenny said, it had never happened. Like something like that had never really happened before. The reception to this game, the Drinkwitz press conference comments where he said he'd die on the field. Brady Cook after the game talking about how he only had 2 home games left and he wasn't going to miss it because of an injury. The practicality of if Mizzou just doesn't have a hospital 2 minutes away, does he come back and make the trip across town if he had to do that? Like it was fun to think about. It was fun to think about, like, look back on and just all of the reception to all of that. That said, the game itself, like the reason I settled on Oklahoma number one was exactly what you said, Payton. Like it has, in my opinion, another play you're putting in the pantheon of all-timers under Drinkwitz. And to go to Kenny's argument for some of these, the entertainment value. This game was not a very fun game to watch as a neutral, save for the Brady Cook heroics and coming back to lead them to this. But the 2 big runs that he had on that final drive where Auburn pins him back and he scampers for the first down on the bum ankle twice. And then was it the 4th and 5? No. Did he make a throw to Luther?
He did.
Yeah. Made a throw to Luther later, the Mookie throw. But there was also some stupidity in this game. I mean, the punt, the muffed punt by Luther to set up the touchdown that put him up, I think 17-6. putting Dre Norwood one-on-one with Cam Coleman, that worked out super well for Cam Coleman. So yeah, there was some silliness in this as well. And yeah, the frustration of watching Drew Pine, but man, I will never forget that Brady Cook story. It was incredible.
It was homecoming too.
Yep.
Like not even just like only 2 home games left after that. I think that's what, I mean, I remember him being like emotional on TV afterwards on the field when they were talking to him about it. So I think that just played into my mind too, of this game having a little bit more feel for it, and not saying it was a clear cut number one, but definitely had its own case. I think you can take, I keep looking at this win probability. If you're looking on the YouTube and seeing my eyes, I keep looking at these win probabilities over here and how it just always kind of went back and forth. I think you could just take the fourth quarter
Go look
alone.
at Oklahoma's.
Yeah, no, just fourth quarter alone, you could just show people that and be like, this was Mizzou's 2024 season. And this falls back into 2023 note that I said of Mizzou wasn't getting Mizzou'd anymore. They were always on like the winning end. Like I remember you mentioned Callum earlier. He had a funny tweet about it. He was like, there's never a dull moment in this job just covering Mizzou football. There's never going to be a normal game. It feels like whatever season you're covering Mizzou football, you're going to have this. You're going to have the Oklahoma game. There's nothing around it. And Mizzou just wasn't getting Mizzou'd anymore. Mizzou was Mizzouing other people. They weren't, shooting themselves in the foot. They were actually coming away and winning some of these games in really weird fashions.
Both of these games were 2023 vibes of this team, like, did some weird, dumb BS and figured it out. They found a way. The whole great teams find a way. They found a way to win this game. They found a way to win Oklahoma. Unfortunately, they couldn't find a way to win against South Carolina, and they weren't mature enough yet to respond against Texas A&M, is how I feel about it. But yeah, they figured this one out. But that said, the Zion Young scoop and score. So I was thinking about this I was trying to find one from every season, and Payton, I know you'd be able to do this way easier than me for 21 and 22. But I think my big 6 right now are the 3 plays we discussed from 2023, the field goal, the Marquise Johnson from Luke Bauer, and the Luther Burden 4th and 15 completion.
17.
17.
4th
Thank
and
you.
17.
Yeah, see.
Get the number right, please.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. The other 2 the other 3 I've put on I don't want to call it a Rushmore because it's more than 4. When I was thinking about it last night, were the goal line stand against LSU in 2020, the Jamal Roberts run against Kansas. I have to think more about 2025, but I think that's the standout play for me when I was just first thinking about it. And
I don't think there's a play in 25 that warrants it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's as close as you're getting. My point being, I think this is the Zion scoop and score is the last one. I mean, Tom Hart teeing it up 2 plays prior, saying, if with how sloppy this game's been, I'd be really worried about a turnover, and lo and behold, he runs it in. The Madness in Columbia call, bookending just an absolute insane game that ended in a 30 to 23 win for Mizzou that Kenny was there for.
Honestly, yeah, actually the Jamal Roberts Kansas run does have to be on there, I think. Yeah, I mean, this game, I, again, did not really expect anything because OU was a bad team, but Drew Pine, I thought, was even worse. And Oklahoma's defense was good going into this game. Gosh, I don't even it was as miserable as I thought it was going to be in the first half. And then, I mean, credit to Mizzou's offense. I mean, they really did kick it into gear. Pine made some really, really big throws late in this game. That touchdown to Theo Weiss, the second one. The first one was a slick little fake screen, like the fake out screen, which was always a nice play. Jamal Roberts had some big runs in this game. He did have also the fumble, which was real unfortunate, but all is forgiven. They won the game. There was the 3rd or 4th and 10 Luther Burden's down there somewhere throw from Pine that got there. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, the big moment was the Zion Young scoop and score. Jackson Arnold by this point was pretty much done at Oklahoma. This only made it worse. He had a horrible, horrible day. He was a better receiver than quarterback in this game. You'll remember he had that reverse touchdown that I think Zion Young as well almost sniffed out.
It was Johnny Walker.
It was Johnny Walker?
And actually, Johnny Walker did his job. The lineman for Oklahoma made a great block on him.
Yeah, Johnny Walker almost sniffed it out. He was very close to making the play. But, to me, with this being like the revival of the rivalry, just kind of all the smack that had been talked both ways leading up to it, the Caden Green saga. Williams Nwaneri had a bit of a saga as well, if you'll remember. Even David Stone, I mean, he said this was a game he was looking forward to because of Twitter antics. This is, to me, one of the best games under Drinkwitz, period.
I don't remember Jamarian Wayne having a fumble recovery.
Me neither.
He must have just dove on. I think Missouri fumbled
on kickoff,
and he dove on it. I don't remember. I totally forgot about the yet again. This time it wasn't the quarterback outright, but a DB turning into a linebacker on a punt when Oklahoma had the jump pass that they turned on a fake punt. That also happened in this game, and I remember my anger for that came all the way back when I watched that. Another one that was kind of low scoring until the end. It was 10-9 with 5 minutes left in the third. Obviously, 2 scoop and scores will help with that. Danny Stutzman was a name for Oklahoma too. That was like, oh yeah, that guy, 19 tackles in this game. That guy was just he was a stat stuffer. He had a good year with the Saints. I was looking him up last night when I was looking at this game. Had like 50 tackles or something in his rookie year, I think. So yeah, I agree. I think this ended up being the number one for me. I think just again, the pageantry of Brady gives a lot of weight to the Auburn game. I mean, hell, it puts it above good games like Iowa and Arkansas. But yeah, Oklahoma, just the chaoticness of this, and how it ended up being a big time win for Mizzou, reviving the rivalry, all that context, and then a top 5 play under Eli Drinkwitz happening with Tom Hart, a Mizzou alum, on the call. It's great.
I think it helps being a night game too.
Yeah,
that added to the ambiance.
Prime time. So there you go. There's the 2024 season. A wild ride that started with just a very 2020, 2021, 2022 vibes game at A&M, and then ends with them owning Oklahoma in dramatic fashion. And yeah, Jackson Arnold was terrible. You know, he's UNLV's quarterback now.
I did know that. Yeah,
it's tough. Who's Oklahoma's QB next year? Am I forgetting they ever got to come back?
Still Mateer.
Oh, it is still Mateer. Okay, so we'll talk about him. That'll be a low on my list. 2025 Oklahoma. That game sucked. There's 2024. Big long recap. Thank you for sticking with it. The Oklahoma game gets number 1. A&M is last, and we will move on and finish the show with quick hits. All right, Kenny. Payton decided to just dip out on us for quick hits, which leaves us stranded for his segments and the Daily Dozen trivia again for 6-7. Daily Dozen trivia and his quick hit segments. How are we going to do on the quiz?
3.5. Take the over under and get the line on FanDuel.
I think that's below 4, which is what you said last time. So let's see if we can do better.
All right, NFL. Brandon Cooks caught 8 touchdowns in a regular season with 2 franchises, New Orleans and this NFC team. Is this LA? Los Angeles?
No, maybe. Go for it. I don't have a better guess. Don't guess the Chargers.
Correct.
All right.
Great.
A great start.
What would this team be? I think it was a Patriot. Oh, it's the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. He was a Cowboy.
We'll double dip. Right. This BYU tight end had over 2,700 yards from 2007-2009 before becoming a Ravens 4th-round pick and helping them win a Super Bowl? Oh man.
Oh, 7-09. So yeah, it's not
2011.
Andrews. He didn't win the Super Bowl, did he?
Andrews went to Oklahoma, and this is way before his time.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he's young, isn't he? I forgot because he's in that one clip that Zias and Bilu are that one viral clip. I think that's my zone. It's a good one.
I wouldn't know this.
Oh man. So the Ravens Super Bowl winning team? Haloti Nada? Was he a tight end?
Wasn't he an offensive lineman?
He probably was. I don't know.
How do you spell
I
Nada?
have no idea. I don't even know how I pulled that name. Wait, Dallas Clark? No.
No, I don't think
Was
so.
there a Clark? Did they have a Clark?
You want me to try Dallas Clark?
Dennis Clark?
No.
Fonte Leach?
Soccer. Recently retired and transitioned to coaching. Andres Iniesta. Iniesta represented this European country in international play.
You want to guess?
Spain.
Yes, that's right. Shout out Andres.
Retail and shopping. Insignia and Dynex are house brand names for what retail and big box chain?
Doesn't Insignia do like TV? They do like TV for something. Samsung? House brand names. What is an Insignia? I don't know. Oh boy.
Celebrity mashup.
Oh
boy, this is not good. I know the woman.
That's, yeah, what's her name? What's her name?
Anne. No, not Anne. Well, is the guy just Jesse Eisenberg?
That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. Oh, I do know
the woman is oh my gosh. I can't even think what she's in. It's
me
is it
neither.
Reese Witherspoon?
No. It's I think she's in a thing with Reese Witherspoon. She's a little older, like compared to Reese Witherspoon. Oh my goodness. I don't know. You can come back to it. This is gonna bother me though. I totally recognize her face.
Beverages. Thrill and Punch and Punch and Vanilla are newer flavor of what soda brand? Newer flavors.
Oh, so they went with Thrill and Punch and Punchin'. It's very unoriginal. I have no clue. Don't drink soda. I don't know. Go something like super obscure. Like Crush or something.
Incorrect.
That'd have been insane if that was all right.
Television. With previous film adaptations starring Gregory Peck and Robert De Niro, this Apple TV psychological thriller currently stars Javier Bardem and Amy Adams.
I think I do. No, I believe it's Cape Fear.
I think you're right. Correct.
Okay.
Who voices Jesse in the Toy Story film franchise?
Oh, dude, do you know? He's cheating. He's fully cheating. So, it's not Melissa McCarthy, is it?
No, it's not.
No. That's probably a terrible guess. Peyton's gonna make fun of me. It's someone famous. I can't picture her voice right now.
Is there someone famous?
What are their initials?
MKB. She passed away though.
I don't know.
I think it's Joan Cusack.
Cusack.
I mean, the name is.
I recognize her name. I knew it was like someone known.
We'll put her. We'll take it.
I'll take it. I don't care.
Music. The Disney star had a hit with her. This Disney star had a hit with her 2003 song "Come Clean" and is currently on tour performing new songs from her 2026 album "Luck" or Something.
Oh, 2003.
Is this Lizzie McGuire? Who plays Lizzie McGuire?
I don't remember who plays Lizzie McGuire. That doesn't count as cheating.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure I do. I didn't watch Lizzie McGuire.
It's Hillary Duff.
Oh, Hillary Duff.
Yeah. It should be Hillary Duff.
Go for it. Oh, yes. I think that's right because she is. Yeah. I did see a thing about that.
All right. How do I double dip? Do I have to guess on these?
I think, I think you do.
Dallas Clark. Incorrect. All right. Celebrity mashup. Jesse Eisenberg.
What is her name? You can try the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Cowboys for Brandon.
Nice.
College football.
Dennis Pitta. I knew it was a Dennis. I was like, wait. I thought
Retail and shopping is just Best Buy.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that was stupid. We should have gotten that.
Yeah, that's poor.
Beverages, Mr. Pibb. Okay, I put Dr. Pepper originally. That's what I was writing in. So
Pibb or Mr. Pibb.
Celebrity mashup. Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Yeah, I do know Kathy Bates. I couldn't remember.
I recognized her. I just.
What's your favorite Dr. Pepper like off-brand that you've ever seen? Like one of those. Not Mr. Pibb, but like
Mr. Doctor or something like Mr.
You ever see any that are like way down there? I went into a store once and the soda was Dr. Choice.
Okay. And it was like the same maroon.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Dr. Pepper. I think I bought it as a mixer one time. It was not very good. All right, Tigers in the Wild. This should be your Tiger in the Wild, Kenny.
Yes, my honorary Tiger in the Wild goes to Austin Trusty, the brother-in-law of Missouri co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Derek Nicholson. Scored a goal. He scored the first goal in Thursday's match with Turkey. And the game ended there. That was it.
Nothing else.
Nothing ever happened. That was the end of the U.S. game.
Yep.
On to the round of 32.
Great win. Yep. Yeah, this was cool. I mean, I think you pointed this out on the show before. Pretty fun. And it's why you have Derek Nicholson in your five-a-side team, because he could learn from Austin Trusty. Exactly. Yeah, great goal. Set pieces. And set pieces in the U.S. scoring early into halves is a very good sign. I will report more from this game in my quick hit later on. So we'll go to Payton's Tiger in the Wild, which he is going to give to Brady Cook and Cody Schrader, who were in St. Louis. They did their camp. I saw a clip from that. A good clip actually from Brady Cook talking about how like he thinks kids from St. Louis need to see and interact with, guys who, made it to the top of the football world from St. Louis, which is pretty cool. Always good to see them giving back, but they were there for that camp. They were also throwing out the first pitch at the Cardinals game. I did not see the pitch. I don't know how good it was. I assume it has to be pretty solid from the two of them. I'm also, it's taken everything in my power. It hurting me to say this. I like the Lou jerseys. Those are kind of fun. No, you're not with it.
I think it's the hat that people don't like, or just as STL.
Oh, I haven't seen the hat. I just mean the jerseys, like on Brady Cook and Cody Schrader. Those look good, but I don't know if the hats are done. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can pass on that. I'm also going to be slow to praise any St. Louis Cardinals affiliation things. So, congrats to Brady Cook and Cody Schrader. Pretty cool. Kenny, how do you think you'd do if you threw out a first pitch at a baseball game?
I think I'd have some jitters.
I think I would too. Or I definitely would, but do you think I might bounce it? Like, I can't throw a ball. It would be bad.
You can't bounce it. They told that. Remember that? Have you ever seen that famous clip of
George Bush, right?
George Bush after 9/11. They said you cannot bounce it.
Can't bounce it.
Throw a strike.
I don't know, man. You've seen me throw a ball. It's not good. It's not good.
I think I'd throw it like outside, like whoever the unlucky guy on the bench that they throw out there catching my ball, he'd have to lean.
I think I'd be scared to airmail it, and so I'd throw it into the ground because I'd try to overcompensate and just like throw it down, and it'd just be bad. Anyway, my Tiger in the Wild is going to be Sophie Cunningham. She went kind of viral. I used our post for it, which we said me to a Kansas State fan, thanking them for selling out Memorial Stadium, and of course it's the clip of Sophie Cunningham doing the pointing. Pretty funny. I've seen it all over Twitter. It got pretty fiery in the Fever Dream game, I think. No, I can't remember who they were playing, but they've had some chippy moments, the Fever, recently. But Sophie Cunningham, of course, the enforcer. I actually heard her on her podcast talking about it because she was like the player. She pointed like once, and then she said the player she was pointing at was like not like got mad, so she just kept doing it just to instigate, which is very Sophie Cunningham. The enforcer of the Indiana Fever. So kind of funny that it's gone very viral.
It's a funny quote. She said, "I think it's dumb, but it was pissing her off, and I couldn't help myself."
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know the landscape, admittedly, as much of the WNBA in terms of other players like her, but I mean, she's got to be up there with like a Draymond Green equivalent in terms of just how she gets under the skin of opponents. Although I'm trying to, Isaiah Stewart's another good one. Talks a lot of trash. Very funny. Yeah, you don't know who that is.
No, I have no idea, man. Yeah. The NBA ended in 2019.
Yeah. He's on the Pistons. He might get traded. Anyway, headline. What is yours?
My headline this week comes straight from Mizzou Hoops, MUTigers.com. Shawn Phillips Jr. signs with New Orleans Pelicans. In quick hits for Friday's show, I guess I'll eat some crow. I said that Mark Mitchell was probably the only one we had to wait on to see if he'd sign any sort of deal. But Shawn Phillips got a summer league contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. Comparing fits, Mark Mitchell got an Exhibit 10 contract. Does this one look a little bit better? Because looking at the forward spot for Mark Mitchell, there's a lot of guys in front of him in Denver. Does Shawn Phillips have a better opportunity to make a G League roster out of this?
Oh man. I mean, in terms of that, it's probably pretty equal. I mean, Shawn Phillips or Mark Mitchell got a better contract, just because it's like, it's a non-guaranteed, but it's at least a 1-year deal. I mean, Shawn Phillips, if they don't like him in summer league, he'll just be dropped. At least Mark Mitchell will be on the team and coming up and down. But yeah, I don't think with where they're playing, it matters all that much what team they're on. The Hornets, the Pelicans rather do have a few decent centers. I mean, their whole big thing was they gambled what could have been the number 1 pick on Derek Queen to start. So we'll see how much run he ends up getting in the summer league. But I think I like Mitchell's fit with the Nuggets. I mean, who knows? Like Denver, I mean, not to bring up a KU guy, but like Christian Brown won a title as a rookie. They have, had to lean on some of those later draft picks and even some undrafted guys for real minutes for them. And if Mark Mitchell, like Denver has been a place where people will get an opportunity if they earn it. So I think Mark Mitchell can get that. We'll see for Shawn Phillips. I mean, what Shawn Phillips has going for him is he is very distinctly good at one skill, and that can help if you can just be really good at that skill, at the NBA level. But we'll see. Summer League starts July 7th or 8th in Vegas. I know you'll be watching, Kenny. I will be watching. I will be the resident Mizzou Summer League reporting. I love the Summer League. It's so fun. I want to go. I need to go. That's on my bucket list of things to go, which I realize sounds really lame, but I don't care. Payton's headline, Kenny. Ranking. Oh, sorry. Should I give this to you as the On3 company man? Should I let you read this?
Sure. Ranking top 10 running backs in college football entering the 2026 season comes from Ari Wasserman of On3. Number 1 on the list, Ahmad Hardy, Missouri. I think it's been a very contentious offseason when ranking running backs, especially given Ahmad Hardy's situation after being shot at the outdoor concert on May 10th, which raised questions on his readiness for the 2026 season. It's been him and Quan Lacey kind of, head to head for that number 1 spot, even in like overalls in a video game.
I was going to say that's where it's gotten contentious. Was that what were they both 96, but Kawan was ahead of Hardy? They put a 1 next to his name and a 2.
Other lists where Ahmad Hardy's ahead of him. It just depends. But I thought this was intriguing that he has that first one. I do love, this is not a shot at anything, but you always have to put the best brands on there too. Yeah. But the number 1 guy doesn't really make the AFI either, just because it is the Mizzou logo going up against Miami, Florida, and Ole Miss.
I was gonna bring that up if you didn't. That did make me laugh too. And shout out oh my gosh, I'm forgetting Mark Fletcher over on the left there. You were a legend at Louisville in college football 26 this year. Thank you for your contributions to the Cardinals playoff run. Good luck with Miami in real life, and good luck to Ahmad Hardy. Yeah, I mean, I know July is when we were told we'd probably get more of an update. I'm sure that will come if it does around SEC Media Days. I just really hope for his sake he's good to go. I just want him to play football. I want him to play football selfishly. I want him to play football because I think he loves playing football. I don't want that to screw anything up for him. So hopefully he can be okay. My headline this week comes from the Athletic, and it reads as follows. A Gen Z slang term has become the U.S. men's national team's buzzword as it gleefully riles World Cup opposition. I thought this was a pretty fun read, Kenny, and I want to give a shout out. I wrote his name. Henry Bushnell wrote this for The Athletic. Wrote an article basically about how the U.S. men's national team likes to rage bait people, and that's become their term. There's a pretty funny lead to it. I won't spoil this whole article about Tim Ream using the term, and Tim Ream, of course, is quite old by soccer standards, and some of the younger players making fun of him. It's a really good read. Go read it over on I believe all the Athletics World Cup coverage right now is free, so I think it's a free read. So go read the whole article. I won't spoil all of Henry's work, but it was very funny. And yeah, I mean, it's the instigating and the take no shit attitude that, people, whether a casual or, a more deeper, dived in fan, like it's what people have been calling for. It's them, having that American attitude or whatever you want to call it. And they've shown it. They've riled some people up. There's a couple of examples from this World Cup. And, they did it a few times against Turkey. I know they lost the game. I was really, really angry with how they lost the game. And then I slept on it. And Turkey had like 63 shots in the first two games and weren't able to win. They had gotten a little unlucky. They're a decent team. It's frustrating. It shouldn't be soul crushing. So hopefully this grit that Henry wrote about can help rile up Bosnia and they can at least get through that. I'm not going to lie to you, Kenny. If they do get through that, I don't know if you've seen, gets real difficult. Gets real difficult after that if the seeds hold. Right now, the U.S.'s path to the World Cup final is Bosnia in the round of 32, Belgium in the round of 16, which that would be very fun. Of course, that's the Tim Howard game from the 2014 World Cup where he had the 17 saves. They would have to face Spain in the quarterfinal, France in the semifinals, and Argentina with apparently a de-aging Lionel Messi who scored another goal tonight to break the record for the most games with a World Cup goal in the final. So they're gonna need to rile some people up if they want to go on a deep run. But hopefully they can take care of business on Wednesday against Bosnia. So
I believe.
Oh, I believe that.
I believe that we.
Kenny, I cannot tell you as a high school sports reporter the amount of games I go to where the kids screw that up in the student section. They do it way too long. It's not every word you have to do. It's 3. You do I believe that we will win. It's 3. People do like
you
5.
Like it?
It's what?
Do you like it?
I like the chant. You just have to do it right. You
Okay.
can't. I don't want to do I believe that we will. It's too much. I got beef. It's a pet peeve of mine.
We're not a big enough podcast where I get clipped for this, but it has been something I've been mulling over recently. And seeing it in person, I went to the Fan Fest here in Houston for the USA game. Just watched it on the big screen.
With your Dutch, right?
No. I was. It was US versus Turkey. That's the game I saw.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I knew people who were at the Netherlands one, which I.
No. I didn't do the walk or anything like that.
Okay.
But no, I went to the Fan Fest, just watched it. I think it's just hard because U.S. soccer fandom is so new. I think it's so fresh compared to these historic teams like the Netherlands and have all these songs, I wouldn't say rituals, but these like traditions that they do, the things that they have to do before games, like they have to do them. I just think it's a little bit different for me to like watch from the soccer side. And sometimes I see it as a little bit performative for some people, but I think it's just people trying to get involved, trying to, make, U.S. soccer more than just like something new, but something that can have traditions, even though I think it is fair to say that it is very much newer than some other fan bases. And I'll finish that with, I hope that they can find another chant. I think compared to these other countries that have like these such historic and just fun chances they can do all the time, I think the U.S. needs one.
I agree. It is so hard. You can't force that stuff, right? It's got to come up naturally. But yeah, like, I don't know. The English are so good at that of like, it's just like basic, easy chants. Even though like, there's like one where it's like, he's one of our own, whatever player, like just stuff like that. They're so good at like, just making a chant out of anything. And we're definitely not, because I think you're right. It's not really in our sports culture as much. I don't know, or like the songs, but you're right. Probably need a better one than I believe that we will win.
It reminds me like what you were saying about the English team, that high school football chants, like the student sections have like the most ridiculous things that they just come up with.
Yeah.
Do that on the US soccer side too. If you want to rage bait people, if you want to lean into what you're talking about here with this article from The Athletic, I mean, I think US soccer can get under anyone's skin, just because US fans are just, in general, as sports fans, they win games. I mean, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know, like, we shouldn't be here. We should not be doing this, but we are. And so I think there's just a lot of different ways that I think over the next couple, I mean, I would say decades, because it will take time to actually, build those traditions, that the US soccer could have some more fun chants to add into that arsenal.
I think you're right. You lean into that, like, we're going to make you angry because we are American and because we are loud and annoying. And yeah, we don't have history in this sports, but there's only one way to make history. It's winning some damn games. We'll see if they can do it against Bosnia. All right. Before we go, I'll let you tell the joke. I do have a Washington National of the Week from Payton.
Oh man, I thought he was going to give you a joke as well. I don't even have it up.
Nope, you don't have to. You don't have to do a joke. He left the show. This is his segment. He's abandoning. Your 2019 Washington National of the Week this week, Kenny, is Wander. Is it Surio?
I have no idea who this
Wander
is.
Surio.
Oh no, Wander Suero.
Suero. See,
Wander Suero. Yeah, he chose him because Wander Suero played for the Astros in the minor leagues.
This says he played for Washington from 2018 to 2021. Then he was on the Dodgers in 2023, the Astros in 2024, and Atlanta in 2025. He is a pitcher. Let's see. Not as savvy at Baseball Reference. Career ERA in 7 years of 4.05. His year winning a championship with the Nationals, he was 6-9 as a starter, and had a 3.07 ERA. No, that's wrong. That's his FIP. It's FIP.
Like fielding independent pitching, something like that. Like it's hard to explain.
He had 44 strikeouts. No, 81 strikeouts, 44 in 2021.
Look at his 2024 stats. How many saves did he have? Because he set the Sugarland Space Cowboys record.
Does that include the show non-major? Here we go. Oh my gosh, this is way too big of a graph for me. 2024 saves. He had, I don't know. I can't find it. This is 0, but I think it's just with the Astros. Where do I look at the minors? I don't know where I look at the minor leagues on Baseball.
Yeah, 37.
There you go. That's a lot.
It is a lot. All right, joke of the week from Sarah Lemire at the Today Show. What do you call a boomerang that won't come back?
A boomer. A boomerang? I don't know.
A stick.
Okay. I was gonna go that route. I thought it was gonna maybe be more clever. No,
more literal.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Got another marathon one for you, but the 2024 season deserved it. Let us know what you thought the best game of that year was. We have one more left. We'll talk 2025 next week, and then Friday we'll have some more stuff, and we'll get ready to dive into our position previews, which we'll do all July and into August ahead of the 2026 Mizzou football season. So until then, we'll see you all next time.